I mentioned off the top of the show it felt like old home week because Christian Pritchard was on the show, who used to host Daytime in Durham. Well, my next guest, he used to volunteer here on Daytime, and he joins me to talk about something incredibly important. It's the 8th annual Hip Hop Food Drive. Jay, welcome to the show. Great to have you here.
Thank you for having me once again.
Not only the organizer of this, but a great artist in your own right. And we'll talk about that a little bit later on. But I want to talk about the inspiration behind this, Jay. Where did this begin? What was the inspiration?
16-year-old me, you know, I lived on my own at 16, and so I had to go to food banks in order to survive, ideally, to get my food. And, being a hip hop artist, I thought, I want to give back to the community. How can I do that? And so I was able to come up with this, great idea that's now in its 8th year, to have hip hop performances. And, in order to get into the event, you got to bring a non-perishable food item or donate, some money to get in. And we give that, of course, to a local food bank within each city. So it's gone from, one city to 8 cities now, and we're doing that.
Amazing. Yeah. Congratulations on the success so far. I hope you don't mind me asking, why did you find yourself in that situation at 16?
Just things at home. I had to move out at a young age, and I was going to school at the time too, and also working. But it was hard to pay rent and survive. So
of course,
the food banks within the area in Ottawa helped me out.
So obviously, really personal to you. You mentioned now in 8 different cities. Did it start here in Ottawa? Was that your first food drive?
Actually, before it became the last 8 years that we've been doing it. Years before that, I had one-off event here in Ottawa. Then I moved to Toronto for a decade, and I started this in Toronto.
Okay.
Since then, now we're going to Vancouver, Calgary, Halifax, Toronto, Kingston, London, Gatineau, Ottawa, and so every year my hope is to continue to add another city.
And so how did you do that? How did you manage to expand on this so quickly?
I was talking with one of the guests out there earlier, and networking is key.
Yeah.
Right? I'm also at a lot of music conferences as an artist, and so I build with a lot of artists within the city, so that's easy for me to find the right artist to work with. And then, just working at and contacting all these food banks and letting them know we're doing this. And,
nice. Yeah. How can people get involved here in Ottawa?
So the best way to do it, if you want to, donate monetary, donations, of course, hiphopfooddrive.com is the best place to go to. But if you want to come out to the event, you can. Cafe de Cuff on December 18th. Doors open at 9 p.m. It's $10 with a non-perishable food item, $15 without to get in.
Nice.
We're also in Gatineau at Le Pele Melee Club on December 17th. And anywhere else in those cities that I mentioned, if you want to, come out and help out, that's the way to do it.
Tell me about what people are going to experience. Obviously, you said, they're gonna get some great hip hop.
Yeah,
right?
Of course, I'm hosting the event, so come out because I'm hosting the event.
Of course,
you know what I mean.
But it's a no-brainer.
Aside from that, great hip hop acts, R&B acts. So every city has about 6 artists on the lineup, and just great talent. Like I only connect with the best artists. So,
how did you get involved in music? Where did that come from in your life?
I grew up around it. My father is a reggae singer. He goes by the name of Ross Lee, Juno-nominated artist, and so
he's performed with you on stage, right?
Plenty of times. I performed with him.
Yeah, I guess I should say that. That's right. Yeah.
And so that's for me, my pops is sort of what got me into music, and then I just kind of got the bug for it. And
why hip hop? Your father doing the reggae. Where did hip hop come?
I don't have the dreads, and maybe.
Is that why you're wearing the hat? You don't want to show off the new haircut,
you know what I mean?
Right?
So, but I think I was just good with words, and so hip hop seems to be what it is for me.
Yeah, walk me through your journey. From the beginning. You've obviously grown as a performer. What's it been like over the last sort of 5 years for you?
Well, I'll tell you. You know what? I like to talk about myself, but I also like to talk about other great things that I'm doing.
Yeah.
And so there's Cranium Arts Project, which is an organization here within our city. It's a not-for-profit organization. Our flagship programming is Cranium Festival, which happens every single year. We're in our 5th year in 2023, and it's a hip hop and R&B festival we're putting on for the talent within our city. Aside from that, I also make music too. jmorrisnow.com is where people can go check that out. But I've been involved in music so much, and this is my passion, to give back as much as possible, because we need it. So
yeah, I agree 100%. What has the success been like over the last 8 years? What have you seen?
The continued growth.
Yeah,
right? It just keeps getting bigger and bigger, and more support. So sponsorships, of course, that's happening, and that's great, and continuing to make this happen. And the people donating, it just continues to grow. So I think I just want to be able to be in a different city every year as we continue to do this. I don't know how long I can do this for, but as long as I'm here, I'm going to keep it going.
I love it. Well, and you started this, as you said, as a young person for young people that are out there, and I think, as individuals, sometimes they feel like they can't make a difference. You're proof, and the people that you've worked with are proof of doing. What advice would you give to young people out there to be a part of giving back to your community?
Yeah, I think get out and network and learn about the places that you need to help out and give back to, and then take whatever gift you have and use that to help give back. That's why I'm here. I'm here for music and to give back. So that's what I've done.
You've been part of festivals, of course. You mentioned Cranium. What was your summer like? Did you have a pretty busy summer? I mean, we're trying to get back to a sense of normalcy, of course, right?
Well, with COVID, right? Everything was shut down for so long. A lot of this stuff was virtually. We did an interview virtually.
Yeah.
But with what's happened over the summer, I hosted House of Paint in person. So that was amazing.
My family and I went. It was amazing.
Right.
Absolutely amazing.
Yeah. And then of course, the conference and showcase over the summer with Cranium is one thing we did. We brought delegates from all around the world to take in our local artists.
Any projects you're working on? I mean, outside of this, we'll remind people how to donate in just a moment. But what else are you working on?
So the best place for me, to follow any of my music personally is jmorrisnow.com. jmorrisnow on all social media. I actually just released an album called On the Spot. It is available on my website. So jmorrisnow.com.
Still doing music videos as well,
Still
because the production value, as I told you when we last spoke, I mean, the videos that you guys have put together are just amazing.
You talked about the quality and lockdown with COVID and everything.
Yeah.
Lockdown is one of my biggest videos, and it was something that was inspired by the lockdown and COVID. So check that out.
Yeah. No, I highly recommend it. A fantastic video, great song, great message, as you always do.
Thank you.
In a lot of your lyrics.
Appreciate you.
Have great. Remind everybody at home how they can get involved here in Ottawa specifically.
This camera right here.
Yeah, there you go.
hiphopfooddrive.com is the best place to go to, or once again, come in person December 18th at Cafe de Cuff here in Ottawa. 9 p.m. doors open. Bring a non-perishable food item to get in and have a good time.
I love it. Great to see you.
Thank you, man. I appreciate
all
you.
the best to you. Hey, don't go anywhere. Lots more coming up here on Daytime Ottawa, here on Rogers TV.